In terms of horror films, this film and one other films have been on my radar pretty early. And now that I finally got my chance to check out The Curse, can't wait to talk about it. So let's jump into the review, folks, right now. What's up, folks, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film The Curse, which is going to be released in theaters February 18th. Now, this film, this American French horror film, made its world premiere at Sundance Film Festival 2021. I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I had heard about it, and you know how film festivals work, especially films that are good. They get picked up, they get distribution really quickly, and then they disappear because then they get put on the schedule in terms of when they're going to be released. So I had heard about this film for a while, and now that it's a year later now, finally that this is releasing, I couldn't wait to check it out. And this film was pretty good. I did see bad reviews coming about this film, and I could not figure out why upon watching this. I was looking for things to not like, because I was like, oh yeah, I know people are going to say, oh, he's just being biased. He loves horror films. He's going to say they're all good. I was looking for things to dislike in this film. And I got to say, unless I'm super nitpicking, this was a good film. This did a lot of good things. Starting off with the atmospheric horror. Now, what's important about atmospheric horror is that it doesn't even matter what the plot is. Are you scared? Is the hairs on your arms and on your spine? You got a spine chill. Is the hair on your arms? Is it standing up? Yes. The cinematography is amazing. The visuals in terms of the aesthetics, the set location, everything. Yes. And then the era, the late 19th century, is always a good era to talk about some horror, some folklores, and what may be. And this one did that as well. So this film, in a lot of ways, succeeded for me without even telling the story. But when it came down to the story, I mean, it's simple. It's very simple. You got folks that went to a town that burned the town down, and this was all for greed, and they thought it was just all good, and little did they know that they unleashed a beast. A curse, because like there was a group of gypsies in this town, and gypsies, we might as well just call them witches at this point. They wasn't going for it, so they said, fine, you're not going to tell us where the other group of folks are at. We'll just burn your town down and kill all your people. And that's just basically what it was. I mean, they set the whole town on fire. Some people escaped, but the ones that didn't happens to be the one now that are now after them. They literally did something in this film I don't think I've ever seen in any film, period. Like an execution that was done in a way I've never seen. And then ultimately the gypsy or the witch, or you want to be it, she got buried alive. And we should all know by now that that's never a good thing, because we always know anytime somebody's buried alive, they're coming back to hunt you. Their spirit is coming, and that's where this kind of starts. But ultimately, the motivation for the folks is that it was all for greed. And we should understand now that, like, actions get reactions, and you never ever play with the dead. Two big principles everybody should know. And then you know, you have a pathologist, John McBride, who has experienced this firsthand. So now he comes to this other town saying, hey, there's a sinister presence lurking, and you should be aware. Not to mention, in this current town of these folks that had went to the other town to burn it down, some other mysterious things are happening. Like one of the sons goes missing, and then another son is killed. So they're just like, what? Because they think it's an animal. But see, that's the weird thing about this. The odd thing about this, shall I say. Because they think they went to a town, burnt it completely down, killed and murdered people, and then all of a sudden a kid goes missing and a kid is murdered, and then they say, oh, it's just an animal. Look, actions get reactions, folks, and I couldn't say this more ways than enough. I have never been more satisfied for a dark entity to go get their revenge. Real well deserved, because this what they did was messed up. So with that being said, the first 20 minutes of this film is a complete mind-blowing wow. It set the tone for the duration of this film. And as I said, I had never been wanting folks to been hunted more than the folks that was responsible for burning this town down and for the crazy execution that was done. And again, the gypsy that was buried alive. I can't even talk about it. But upon the execution, there's sort of a relic that was buried with this execution, which happens to be silver teeth, and that's that. And then, you know, things start to happen. Like the kids of the town, they're starting to get these dreams, these nightmares about this thing happening. So they go to the site of where where the town was burnt down, which is basically the forbidden grounds, and they dig up these teeth. And they was like, oh, I'm just gonna put on these gangster grills right now, and I'm gonna go do my things. And that's where all hell breaks loose. So that's all I'm telling you about that. But so yes, I don't know if this film reminds me of anything, but it definitely does feel very similar to something I watched. I just haven't been able to put my finger on it. It's completely brutal. Completely brutal. This film is brutal. The gore was very unpredictable as well too. And I got to say, this is my favorite part of, one of my favorite parts of this film, is that they were not shy of showing the gore. So, you know, and beyond that, they were unbiased. Typically you say, oh, well, males get killed. Nah, the kids, the women, everybody got it. Everybody got it. And it was very, 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 very gory. And I like that. And I gotta say that the SFX, the special effects folks, they got their money's worth. The costume makeup design is on point. They got their money's worth. And then because there's sort of, say, the monster, entity, animal, whatever you want to call it, until you watch it, you can determine. Kind of reminds me of the Demogorgon, I'll say. I feel very confident in saying that. The reveal of it was awesome, but when they actually did show it full body, I was kind of like, yeah, I like the Demogorgon, so I can get with that. But nonetheless, like, the moral compass of the town folks is just ridiculous, because the fact that they just feel like they can just go out and do this malice intent and destroy a town, then nothing's going to happen to them. So you really are watching a film for about an hour and some change of folks that are in disbelief that something is happening to them because of what they did, which is very refreshing to me, because they couldn't be more warranted to have this than anybody I've seen. Like, they deserve all these things to happen to them. Not the kids. I mean, the kids were kind of a bystander to it, but hey, you burnt down a whole town of folks, so they're coming after your folks, and it's sort of a revenge. That's what's happening here. But yeah, this film, the resolve of it, I thought was done really well. Things came full circle. I really loved the ending and how it was done. So yeah, again, good resolve, and I'm not mad at this film at all. I don't know how people didn't like it, but I enjoyed this. I had a good time with this film, so I highly suggest you go check it out. The Curse, again, releasing in theaters February 18th. Let me know in the comments, folks, your thoughts about this when you do, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon. Big old bell,